I'm going to introduce a few of the different types of extracellular messengers and types of receptors that you might encounter when you're looking at cell signaling in whatever class you're in. So this is just going to be a video to kind of talk about the different types of extracellular messengers and give a few examples of them or maybe what they're derived from. So I'm going to split this screen here in half so we can do 1/2 extracellular messengers on this half, and then on this side we'll do some different types of receptors, which are really important for any type of communication. So there's 3 types. If you see my last video on paracrine, autocrine, and endocrine signaling, and these types of messengers and different types of receptors are used in all of these different types of signaling. So the first type that we might encounter is amino acids and their derivatives. So I'm just going to put amino acids. So an example of this would be glutamate, acetylcholine, dopamine. These are all, dopamine would be a derivative of a amino acid. Glutamate is a derivative of glutamine, so I'll just put glutamate. A lot of these are neurotransmitters, so glutamate, acetylcholine, you might see histidine, histamine as a signal. You could also see something like nitric oxide, or just any type of gas really. So NO, carbon monoxide. Then you might see some nonpolar molecules that have 20 carbons and they're derived from a fatty acid, and they're called eicosanoids. So I will write that out here. Eicosanoids. Oh, there's no E there. So they're just nonpolar molecules that have 20 carbons, so a hydrocarbon chain. You might also encounter something like a polypeptide or protein that are used for signaling. Steroids are another good example. Steroids will actually go through the lipid membrane and interact with an intracellular receptor. And that's it for extracellular messengers that I'm going to talk about. You could also use stuff on the inside of the cell that would be a second messenger, but that would be an intracellular messenger, like something like calcium or IP3 or diacylglycerol. Those would be all types of intracellular messengers, but I'll save that for another video. So the types of receptors that I'm going to talk about in the next few videos are G protein coupled receptors, so GPCRs, and then receptor tyrosine kinases, so RTKs. They're often associated with growth factors. They're really important in cancer research. Then, as I said before, you might have an intracellular receptor like a steroid hormone receptor. Hormone receptor. And last but not least, you might have something like a ligand-gated channel. So that would be more common in neurons. So ligand-gated channel. In the next 2 videos, I'm going to talk about GPCRs and receptor tyrosine kinases and how they relate to different diseases and how they're turned on and how they're turned off.